if you're there. Oh, okay, she's good. Okay, so let me see if I can share my screen with you. We are so excited to do this together. A lot of us, or some of us, were talking, saying, we got to do our vision call. And so we were like, well, why not do it together? And so we're going to kind of kick it off. We're going to talk just a little bit more broad terms of vision and just kind of encourage you guys to reflect a little bit. And then from there, we're going to break off into our separate teams. That way you guys can feel comfortable to kind of, share more with your team, share more with your direct upline, that kind of thing. And then we'll start kind of taking what we do here and pulling it into being able to create your vision boards or little things you do on Canva, however you want to do it. There's no right or wrong way. So I hope that you are comfortable, that you have a glass of wine or tea, and that you're ready to just kind of reflect. And if you're anyone like me, sometimes this can be hard to do. It can be hard to kind of think vision, okay, big picture, okay, huge. Like, I have a hard time thinking big picture like that, but we hope that some of these questions will kind of help you make it a little bit more tangible and easier for you step by step, so that you can feel really amazing when you go into this new year. And then come 2021, when you start thinking of your vision, it's going to be really super cool for you to go back and look at your board, look at what you've written down in whatever journal or piece of paper you've chosen to write. I hope you save it. And it's just going to be awesome to kind of set the tone for your year. So with that, I'm going to kick it off to Jenny. She's going to kind of start us out here with a little bit of reflection and vision talk, and then we will continue.
Hey guys, I am Jenny, and so before we cast our vision ahead, we're going to just take a quick minute to reflect back. So we're going to reflect on 2019. I want you to, I hope that you guys have something to write with, or you can pull up the notes on your phone if you don't have something to write with. I actually love to use the notes on my computer. Like if you have a Mac, there's like the notes little like app on my computer. So I wrote a bunch of stuff for me personally in there. You could write in a notebook, whatever it is, but you're going to want something to be able to just jot down. This is going to be an interactive call. We're going to ask you to really like think about things and write them down. So if you are kind of like zoned out or not paying half attention, you want your full attention into this call, because it is going to be like a you taking ownership kind of call. So 2019, I want you to write down everything that comes to mind about 2019. Okay, just so think of that right now. So specifically, I want you to zero in on your 2 biggest achievements this past year. So real quick, what are the first 2 things that come to mind? Go ahead and jot that down. 2 biggest achievements in 2019. What's something that could have gone better? If you had any disappointments, things that maybe you saw going differently than they actually did. Just think of one thing, not to dwell on or be negative about, but just to reflect on. And can you come up with one word to describe your year of 2019? Maybe you reflect back on, did you choose a word of the year last year? A lot of times in January, and we'll talk about this in a minute, people like to choose words to encompass what they want for that year. Did you feel like your year encompassed the word you chose last year? If you did. And if it didn't, then that's okay. I mean, that's life. That's maybe some unexpected things that happened. But just something to really reflect on. Yeah, if you guys want, you can drop your last year, 2019 word of the year in the comments, just so we have kind of like a running list of stuff. You don't need to even say if it matched what actually happened or what didn't, but just reflecting on it. Okay, yep, love seeing these. Gosh, you guys are coming up with really unique ones. I like this. Okay. Great. Okay. So hopefully that gave you a couple minutes, and we're not spending a ton of time on each of these sections. But now we're casting the vision forward. So I want you to think big picture, 2020. What do you want to have your life look like at the end of the year? What are you doing? Where are you? You know, what are you doing? Like this could mean job, for fun, for leisure, for relationships, for specific things for your business. Remember, maybe those are all interconnected. Where are you? Like physically in your space. Are you in the same house you're in now? Or are you in the same place you are now? Or what does that look like for you? And what does it feel like to be doing what you're doing at the end of 2020 and to be in this place that you are in at the end of 2020? I'm going to give you just a minute or two to jot down. And it's okay if it's unknown. I feel like every year of my life is super unknown. You know, just kind of like with our lifestyle, my husband's job, we can move and get relocated often. So I feel that if you're sitting there being like, I don't really know, but also at the same time, like I'll just share really quickly. One of them for me is if and when we do get relocated to move, like I want to be, I don't know what it's going to look like or where it's going to be, but I want to be able to build my business to a point where we like have a decent selection of homes that we're looking at wherever we're going to move, wherever we're going to be, because I have like a vision of what I want to look like at the end of 2020, and what I want to be feeling like with everything surrounding me. So that's just kind of, if you're in a spot like that with me, like me, then you can think of it that way. Okay, that's enough for this one. Dylan, can you scroll on? Similarly, 5 years from now, what do you want that to look like at the 2025? What are you doing? Where are you? What does it feel like? This is obviously going to be much more of an unknown and maybe not as crystal clear for you right now, especially if you've never thought about it before. Again, that's okay. Now's the time to like run it through your brain. What are you doing? Are you doing something that's similar to what you're doing now? If yes, that's great. If not, cool, let's make the plan to make some big changes. Where are you? What does it feel like? Who are you with? Who are you spending most of your time with? What are you spending most of your time doing in 2025? Go ahead, jot some of those things down. One of the questions, this is kind of what I'll end with, and then I forget who we pass it to, Ashley maybe. What's the story you'll tell your 2020 in the future? So in the future, you're talking with your family, maybe your grandkids, and you're like, man, 2020, that was the year XYZ. What's it gonna be? That question's really always hard for me to answer, but I like to think about it. Okay, that's it for me.
Okay. I think we're all like fighting off a ton of stuff. I'm actually like not coughing up a lung right now, so let's hope it stays this way. Okay, so this one is kind of an exercise. If you guys watched that call that was with Lindsay Matway and Moira, they kind of did a version of this. And I thought it was something really powerful. And you guys may have already run into this as you're thinking about your vision. Trying to set a vision for ourselves, a lot of times we have those limiting beliefs come in right away. So I want you guys really quick, imagine that right now on this call, I say to you, okay, so you should be an elite coach at the end of this year. Or I say, you should be a 10-star diamond coach at the end of this year. What is that first thing, excuse, the story that you tell yourself that pops up right away that's telling you that that's not going to happen? So, yeah, but I don't have enough coaches right now. Yeah, but I've only been doing this for X amount of months or years. Yeah, but there's always some kind of excuse that pops up right away. And that's the story that you're telling yourself. That's the story that you're sharing with yourself that's going to keep you stuck. So whatever that story is, I want you guys to kind of challenge yourselves. Ashley, will you scroll down to that next one so I can read the bottom part? That's
That would be helpful. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
I was messaging back. There's people that can't get on. Guys, we maxed out our Zoom room here. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't have
okay,
I don't have the fanciest version of Zoom. So
I know we should have used my link. I didn't think about it. I have 300 on mine. Oh well.
Okay.
Anyways, it's okay.
So what are those excuses that pop up? What is that story that you're telling yourself that's going to keep you from reaching even bigger than you think you can? A lot of times, like, let's say you popped on and you said, okay, at the end of this year, I want to be a diamond coach. If you're on this call right now, that should not be your end of the year goal. That should be your, at the latest, summit goal. But it could be even sooner than that. You guys, you dictate your business. You dictate how quickly you're moving forward. Yeah, end of quarter one, MK just said. Exactly. Like, you decide how hard these things are, and you decide how hard you're willing to work and how hard it's going to be for you. If you say, oh, that's easy, guess what? It's going to be easy. If you treat it with that power and that positivity, then it is going to happen. So think about the story that you're telling yourself. And I do challenge you guys to do that throughout the year. If you, at any point during this year, if you think about something and you're like, oh man, it would be so cool to do this, and then you immediately tell yourself a story about why it can't happen, stop yourself, reflect, and figure out how you can make that thing happen. Okay, next one. Okay, so your word for the year. So we kind of just talked about this a minute ago and going over words that you thought of for last year, and maybe some of you guys, I saw some already popping up. Oh, and I see some diamond goals. Look at that. Yeah, the March date is way more. Just don't do end of the year. Like, don't spread it out too long, because then it's going to take you forever. So make it sooner. Okay, so your word, I'm going to set a timer for 100 seconds. And what I want you to do is, for those 100 seconds, just write down every single word, picture, sentence, smell, feeling, whatever doodle pops into your brain when you think about 2020. So when you think about this year ahead, just write it down without thinking. Like, maybe it makes 0 sense, but just do it. Okay? Whatever pops up, go. I'm giving you guys the actual 100 seconds, so keep going. Almost there. Five seconds left. Okay, stop. And then we're going to go to the next slide. Okay, so now looking at these, what's one word or feeling? Maybe it's a word that you see repeated over and over. Maybe you look at it and you're like, there's some word that pops into your brain that kind of connects all of those things. But I want you to think of one word to describe your new year. So what's your word that's going to describe 2020? And I'm going to read some examples really quick if you need help. Compassion, intentional, bliss, align, believe, rebuild, wellness, commit, generous, forgive, learn, breathe, strong, magical, plentiful, fearless, imagine, lead, grace, vulnerable, embrace, focus, present, empowered, content, explore, abundance, confidence, balance, brave, humility, mindful. Mine I picked for this year is thrive. And so once you have that word, think about some ways that you can really embody that. Last year, my word of the year was intentional. And I went into everything with intention. I knew with my business, I was going to be intentional with my time. I was going to get up early every single morning. I knew exactly what I was going to do in the morning. And during that time, that's all I was doing. I was intentional. When my kids are awake, I'm intentional with them. When I go out to a happy hour, I'm intentional with the people that I'm with. So think about how you can embody that. What does that word really mean for you? And if you guys haven't seen them, there's these bracelets. It's like my intent or something like that. I've gotten them for the past couple years, but you can actually get your word like printed onto the bracelet. I have mine. Oh, it's in there. But it says intentional on it. So I wore it around all last year, and it just kind of helped to remind me of my word and kind of helps you think about your why and why you're moving forward in that way. So yes, my intent bracelet. All right.
Okay, my turn. Now you get to hear my sick voice. We're all like sniffling, sniffling and coughing. Okay, so obviously this is like my sweet spot. What I always love to talk about is your why and your mission. So it's twofold, and I want to talk about both of them. So and it's so cliche, in Beachbody, that's everywhere, right? What's your why? What's the thing that you're going to get up to do in the morning? But really having a why, having a purpose, having something for you that is going to drive you forward to wake up on the days that you just don't want to, that's going to keep you pushing through on the bad days, is the thing that you need to have at the forefront of your mind when you are accomplishing any goal. Because otherwise you're not going to show up for yourself. We're human, but having something that you want so badly, whether it's leaving a job or whether it's just, you need it so badly to have purpose for yourself in the midst of motherhood, or you have just different goals for your family. There's so many different things. So what I want for you to write out as we move into this year, and this is something that you could write out and then put on your vision board when we break out in a little bit, but I want for you to answer this question or fill in the blanks, I guess. This year, I want to accomplish what? And because it would mean what? So it could be, I want to accomplish, achieving a certain goal that you have in your business, or a certain income, or it's just something that you really have on your heart to do, because it would mean what to your family? What would it mean to your family? Would it mean freedom? Would it mean that you get to come home a couple extra days a week? Would it mean that you have money to put groceries on the table? Like, what is it? Because it needs to evoke some kind of emotion in you, some kind of willingness for you to show up every single day, even on the days that you just don't feel like it. And it doesn't have to make you cry. We talk about that too. That's the cliche feeling, or the words that you hear. Like, your why should make you cry. It should be so huge. But even if it's not that big, even if it's not something that makes you just bawl your eyes out, it needs to be something that's meaningful enough that's going to drive you forward every single day. So this is kind of your thing. And I always say, like, your selfish thing, like, this is the thing for you, what it would mean to your family. So if you want to share them, please feel free. But that's what I want for you to answer. And then as we move into the next one, it's twofold. So you have your why, you have the more selfish reason, you have the reason why you're showing up for yourself, for your family, for the goals and the vision that you have for your life every single day. But then also have your mission. You guys, as coaches, our social media, what we do as coaches, our accountability groups, everything that we do as coaches is our mission field. We have an amazing, amazing opportunity to help so many people in whatever area of life that they're in. So, for me, one of the things that I love about having a mission is that it's something that's the thing that now, after having coached for 5 years, I've been able to achieve a couple of the things that I really wanted for my family. And my first big why was to come home, to be home with my kids. And I did that. And so now I'm home with my kids. And so I have to keep creating new little whys. It's going to change and evolve over time. And what you say now at the beginning of the year, it might not be the same at the end of the year. But the one thing that I do have is a mission that is constant. And for me, when I started coaching, I was in a place where I had nobody believing in me. I had no one ever tell me that I had no one ever breathe belief into me or tell me that I could do something great with my life. It was kind of just, here's the box I was put in and this is what I was going to do. And so when I started to realize that I was free to believe and to dream and to have, do something different than I ever thought I could do and not have to ask permission for that, I realized so deeply that my mission in life and what I was doing with my business was to help empower more women to have that belief in themselves, to feel empowered enough to do something they never thought they could do in motherhood and business and whatever it is. So another statement that I want for you to reflect on or write out as you're doing your vision tonight, your vision board, is to think about what do you want to do for others through your business. It's so easy to quit on yourselves, especially on the bad days, but it's really hard to not show up for the women who will come to count on you, the women who will come to be counting on your stories to empower them daily and to be wanting to be a part of your life because you speak so much belief and passion and excitement into their lives. So I want for you to think about, I want to help blank do, feel, accomplish this. So think about how you want to use your business this year. And as you share your story every single day and you get intentional, how can you help somebody else accomplish something that's meaningful in their life? Because that's what it's all about, you guys. Our business as coaches, it's servanthood. We get to serve and help people all over the country, all over the world by the words that we choose to share and the things that we choose to share with them, whether they're in a group of ours or not. So I encourage you to think about that. So you've got your why, the reason that's going to keep you moving forward, the big vision you have for your family and for your life and what that would mean to you. And then also your mission. What are you going to do for others? What is the reason that you're showing up every day for other people? Because it's a lot harder to just not show up for the women that you said that you really wanted to empower and bring to belief. But it's a lot harder to not show up for them on the bad days. So have two of those. Have the why and the mission, because that's what drives it all.
And I think I am last. Really quick before I go, I can't even see myself, so I don't even know if you're like seeing my head or not. But I found these little bands on Instagram. It's called Shop LACLE. I don't even know how to say it, but I'll drop it in the comments. But they're like cute on the outside, and you wear them like a ponytail holder on your wrist, but then you flip them over when you like need a reminder. And this one I've been wearing, it says I am the storm, and it comes on like a little card, and it has like a cute quote, and it was like, I can't even remember now, I literally just read it, but it was like, some people run from the storm and other people say I am the storm or something. Yes, that. And I love these because they have so many, and there's positive affirmations kind of go along with your word of the year. Okay, anyways, priorities. So what are the 3 areas that you want to focus your attention on in 2020? These do not have to be business related. They can be like these examples: community, family, income, family, friendships, health. But I think sometimes we see coaches that come in, they're like, well, my priorities are my family, my faith, and my fitness, something like that, right? Like those would probably be 3 for me. But so many times we separate those from business when really, to me, they can be all inclusive. So like for me, those are my 3: family, faith, and fitness. My family, I'm a better mom when I have something for me. So my family is my priority, but my business and my fitness help make that a better priority. And I get to stay at home with them because I'm pouring into my business. So that still fuels my family priority. My faith is my priority, right? This business gives me a platform to share my faith. Do you kind of see what I mean about how like this business doesn't take away from your priorities? It doesn't have to take away. It can build up your priorities. It can go hand in hand if you focus it in the right direction, right? And to try and find that balance between your priorities. So think about like what are your priorities, and how can you focus on your priorities and focus on your business at the same time without taking away from either of them. Next slide, Dylan. So those are probably like your 3 areas that you want to grow in, right? Your 3 priorities. No one wants to stay stagnant in like whatever your priorities. You want to either do better or grow in those areas. And I kind of already talked about this. So keep going. Is this still mine? I don't even know. Okay. So yes, this is mine. So in your business, what are your goals? What do you want to do by the end of 2020? Where do you want to be by Summit? Where do you want to end the first quarter? And I don't want you guys to think about, I want to end 2020, I don't know, a stupid goal that you can't measure, right? You have got to get so stinking clear. I saw some of you guys writing in the comments, like, I want financial freedom. What does that mean? You can't just say you want financial freedom. How much do you need to make in this business to get that cleaning lady, to get your financial freedom? Figure that out. Maybe it's $5,000 extra. Okay. So what does that mean per month? You've got to get so freaking clear on these goals, or you'll just think for the next 12 months, I want financial freedom. Where's my financial freedom? I don't know how to get there. Right. You've got to pick a goal and then break it down. And you guys, a lot of these goals don't have to be income. They don't have to be rank. They don't have to be Success Club. They don't have to be recruiting so many coaches. Sometimes it can just be that you want to show Jesus. But what does that look like to you? And again, like the Success Club, the rank, and that kind of thing, they can go hand in hand. So maybe income is not your focus. Maybe you have no income goals at all. That would be like somebody like me. So maybe it's something different. Do you want to be at that elite party at Summit? Do you want to be invited to that Success Club party at Summit? Do you want to be on the next winter retreat? Do you want to be hosting your own retreat? Like, those are all community goals, right? And so you can see kind of how a lot of these things intertwine to help you reach your goals, but I'm getting off on a tangent. So the main point here is I want you guys to get so incredibly clear on these goals. End of first quarter, this is something that's immediate. How are you going to get there? And then what's the next step that you get to Summit? And then what do you want the end of your year to look like? I'm done. Ready, break.
Okay, so we are gonna break out. Yeah, break out here. Does anyone else have anything to say before we do that? Can we also take a video? I feel like we need to take a video of all this goodness of all the people here before we, depart our ways. Does anyone have any questions? Like Dylan said in the chat, we're gonna get more specific in a minute when we break off and hopefully make it more of a place where you guys can chat a little bit more comfortably and it's just smaller and more tangible. So anyways,
I do say something really quick.
Yes.
That I was telling Trent, I was taking my stuff off my vision board from last year. And it was all stuff that I set, obviously, last year on my team's call. And it was I want to be 5-star elite. I want to speak at a Beachbody event. I want, there was something else. Oh, an income goal. And I was reading all of those to him as I was taking them off the board. And he was like, you did all those things. So you guys, that power behind having that vision and like genuinely working toward it, those things actually happen. 2 years ago, I put something on my vision board that was like, I want to paint the exterior of our house because it used to be like the nastiest colors. And that was on my board. And I remember Trent laughing, being like, yeah, but wait for that one. That's going to be a few years. And guess what? In March of that year, we figured it out and got the exterior of our house painted. So a lot of those things, you guys write them down, even if it seems terrifying or seems like that's a lot of work. Remember that story you're telling yourself, and you genuinely can do all of those things. You just have to stay focused on it. So just wanted to share that.
I love that. I was just doing that in my Rise Up planner today, like all the things. Like it's going to feel really dumb to write out some of the things that you want, but if it's huge, if it's tiny, write it out, because you never know, or you do know because you're going to make it happen. But writing that out is so powerful. So, okay, everyone acts like Dylan's way better at this because she's much funnier than I am, but everyone acts super excited and happy. And I don't have any music. Does anyone have music? That'd be so much more fun. But let me get all the pages open here. Okay, I'm going to scroll through you guys. All right. Everyone's so happy. We're dancing. Yeah. Talking about vision. Whoop, whoop. Everyone's pumped. Got good visions for the year. Awesome, y'all. Okay, there's a lot of words in the last page. A lot of people not on. Okay, so we're gonna break out. I'm sure your upline has told you where you're going. My girls, I posted our link in the Posse page, so go to that link, and that's where we're gonna hop onto our room. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and good luck creating your vision boards. We'll see y'all later. Bye.